That's one of the things that we are really good at. Like if somebody wants to do a thing, or like, oh, here's a space in Tokyo. Or like, no, thanks. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but no, thanks. We're so like protective of what we built because we built it out of absolutely nothing. I mean, we opened that restaurant, we opened the trailer. If the first check had cleared on the first day, we would have had 12 cents in the bank. Yeah, because that's how it works. Yeah.
How long have you been selling barbecue? How long have you been in the barbecue business? The business of?
Well, we opened Franklin BBQ in December of '09, so we're about 16. That's technically when we started selling barbecue. I've been doing barbecue, like cooking it, since probably 2002, I think is when we started doing like backyard barbecues and kind of, gearing up for the big barbecue trailer that we ended up opening. But even before that, I grew up in a barbecue restaurant that my family owned.
Out there in College Station, huh?
Yep. Oh, and Brian, a couple
nearby,
hours from here, they figured it out pretty quick that it was way too hard. And
really?
They sold it after about 2 years. I thought it was super cool. I loved it, but
So you always stayed enamored with it, and you came back to it.
I kind of forgot about it.
Okay.
And then, for years I toured a bunch and played music and, was home for a couple weeks, on the road for a couple weeks, and my now wife and business partner, Stacy, had just gotten our first apartment together, and I think probably '02, and I went out and I bought a $99 little offset cooker at, the local hardware store.
Yeah.
And just like got a brisket and put it on there. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I love this. The food was terrible. But yeah, loved it. And that's kind of, I was like, oh, I remember these smells. I remember this. This is really cool.
And so you became enamored with the process of creating barbecue. I was an early consumer of those, I think those PBS videos that the web series and everything. I loved that. And I thought you were communicating the process and the perfection of your own process to so many people.
Well, at least what I knew about it at the time. And I chose this spot because this is kind of the sweet spot. Air comes out of here, starts to spin, got a lot of convection, got a lot of vorticity right here, and then out the smokestack it goes. So these briskets are good to go. Yeah, I did the PBS YouTube series in 2014, I believe. And that's the same year we wrote the first book.
Yes.
And built the smokehouse and also had a child. It was a busy
big
summer.
year for you.
Big year. I was also cooking the midnight shift, 5 to 7 days or 5 to 6 days a week.
So your wife is a strong woman because you were out there doing everything.
Well, she's the smart one.
Yeah, she's the smart one.
But yeah, and then doing the A&M stuff. But then later on, did a master class and a couple other books. But yeah, I think I didn't realize it at the time. We started those videos. Actually, because there was not a YouTube. I mean, granted, this is not that long ago. Like 10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a video out there on how to slice a brisket,
which is in my mind forever from watching you do it. Because I was obsessed with smoking meats in 2014.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, but I was living in Baltimore at the time. I'm a native Texan. I'm from Austin, but I was showing all my friends barbecue and
y'all check it out.
Yeah, and we're trying to find briskets that aren't already trimmed and all that.
Yeah,
so
good luck.
It really was
was kind of tough.
And up there, the only thing they knew was in Baltimore, we're in Pikesville, we have the Jewish briskets, like corned beef and Rubens.
But then you have to refer to it as first cut and second cut.
Yeah, and all these exactly. So it's very nuanced how to even go. You got to go right to the butcher. You have to go to a cow farm.
Well, and that's why we ended up doing those videos is because we were, not just like before you cook it trim, but like how do you slice it like once it's done?
Yeah.
And there was no video on YouTube, and the only video that we could find, it took the back of the knife, scraped off all the fat, turned it upside down, and just sliced it paper thin and like cut off all the bark, whatever bark there was. We're like, no, that's not what we're doing. So we made videos.
You quite literally revolutionized barbecue. You brought it to the whole country and the world. You're at least a large portion of what kicked off what I would say is like the barbecue revolution. Every city having
you're just trying to make me feel special.
Oh, goodness. Well, I do think like every city has a barbecue joint. Those barbecue joints don't suck all the time anymore.
There's really amazing barbecue anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and
it's
go
crazy.
there, and it's partially because of this information you've disseminated. And every hipster and their brothers making brisket or barbecue in Brooklyn or whatever the hell. Back in the day there wasn't that going on. So it's like I guess you Edisoned the brisket to a degree. How much barbecue are you actually eating these days? Have you ever? When I'm cooking it, sometimes I can't even eat it right after. You know, I don't know if you go through that.
I mean, they're big flavors. It's salty, fatty, rich. What we do is insanely rich. I mean, there's just fat and salt and just all the layers. I don't really eat it for joy. Like we do a taster every day at the restaurant. Of course, I'm at the restaurant, in and out, all day, every day. We do like a tasting tray with all the managers or whatever cooks are around. And we try and like, okay, well, trim's a little off, a little hot up front, bump it 3 degrees between hours 5 and 6. Do this a little under seasoned on the bottom part, pulled a little too early. Hey, it's cold outside. Watch airflow. Like that's kind of the
variables
that we're
of
having
the day.
every day. But really, it would just be like pretty much one bite of everything. It's like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're still super active in the restaurant. I was going to ask you, do you worry about burnout? Have you ever burned out entirely? Did you take?
We've been burning briskets for 16 years.
Did you ever step back from the restaurant? You're right there.
I'm in it, and Stacy's involved in all the places, and then we have the event space, and then all the other things going on. So I just kind of make the rounds. I mean, Franklin, we've got such amazing people over there. We've been there for 16 years now.
You're an institution.
And a lot of those people have been there for more than 10, 12, 13 years.
And cut their teeth.
And, very few people have been there for less than 3 years. So it's really, I can leave. They don't even notice. I pop in every morning and make the rounds. I like high five and like give people hugs and,
awesome.
just checking in with everybody. But I also don't cook. I just kind of guide everything. And my office is there. That's where I desk.
You avoid lingering over their shoulder while they're trying to get the...
No, I do. I do. Like, hey, like, check out this fire. This log's a little off, And I'm just kind of like dad coaching all the time.
Yeah.
But I've turned into the old guy that's just always drinking his coffee. Be like, hey, it's too cold in here. So that's really, really cool. I'm there all the time, but I'm not just like really like doing it. But I'm just kind of, I'm around.
You're a man of nuance, though. I mean,
Absolutely.
I think that's what you brought to, I think there's a lot of broad strokes in barbecue. Like, throw that shit on there. Let's see what happens.
Well, and the old school way to do it is like, well, get it hot, make it black on the outside. It must be pretty okay in the middle.
You poke it a few times, and you're
like,
like, all right,
no,
let's see what happens. Yeah, we've all pulled that brisket off that just somehow is
just won't give it up.
Piece of leather or whatever the hell happened to you. Like, what the happened?
But yeah, I am not concerned about burnout. I am constantly exhausted.
I believe it.
Everyone in my family is just permanently tired.
As you've built this brand and you're building out licensing with these spices and barbecue sauces, are you doing that yourself?
We produce everything.
You're producing everything.
We don't
right?
license anything.
You got briquettes. You've got grills. You're venturing out. Like you're building.
Yeah, well, and that's really because just running a restaurant is not the best way to make a living.
Yeah.
And we're able to do barbecue sauces in grocery stores. We have the seasonings in grocery stores and all that stuff. And that's we're able to grow that stuff because really, I mean, with a high price of meats, expensive labor, barbecue is just like the worst kind of restaurant to be. And we don't even do, all we sell is protein. We just sell 5 meats and 3 sides. And, you get free sauce, you get free pickles, you get free bread, you get all this other stuff. And we're paying, a ridiculous amount of money per pound. Cooks down, you yield, like about 31% of the incoming weight. So it's not great. So really the only way for us to make it work, other than owning the land and all the normal businessy things, is to be able to diversify. I mean, if all of our eggs were in the barbecue basket, it might not work out that great.
You have not been complacent. You started Uptown Sports, right by here, actually, a couple blocks away.
Right over there.
I just had the po' boy yesterday, and as a man who lived in New Orleans for half a decade, went to college there, I really did enjoy the.
Excellent.
I think it's the best.
Did you get the shrimp?
I got the shrimp po' boy. It's the only way I judge a po' boy. Usually,
it was a big deal for us to get Leidenheimers in Texas.
I knew that.
We had to drive out there and a good friend of mine, a chef here in town, her uncle works for them, so we made the connection. It's like, hey, I'm gonna come. I gotta talk to you guys about trying to get some bread to Texas. They're like, whoa, we don't do that. But that's partially why that po' boy is so good.
So through all of this fame in the barbecue scene and sort of becoming a barbecue spokesperson, have you been able to maintain like a private life, or do you feel like because you're wife's working with you on this big project, basically. That is your life and is your profession. Are y'all still feeling the ability to have some privacy?
No, there's no privacy. For me, like, people could just come up all day at the grocery store and be like, oh my God, and like say nice things and all this stuff. Because of course it makes you feel good, but the fact that you've meant something to someone else, or your restaurant's meant something to someone else, or they had a Leidenheimer po' boy, in Uptown and it brought back a memory or whatever, the fact that they thought enough of that to tell you about it or tell me about it or Stacy, that's huge. Like, I would never be like,
that's your
privacy.
accomplishment.
Like, that's just,
that's the goal.
It's just being kind.
Yes, of course. And so with your universe expanding, have you been offered to do anything outside of your comfort realm?
Oh, yeah, all the time. But I say no to a lot more than I say yes to.
Yeah.
If it's not who I am, I'm not interested.
Is there any funny no's that you could
Nope.
drop on? No? Okay. All right, fair enough.
I'll never share.
All right, I appreciate that. That's good.
But yeah, I will say though, that's one of the things that we as Franklins are really good at. Like, if somebody wants to do a thing, you're like, oh, here's a space in Tokyo. Or like, no, thanks. Yeah, that's a lot of money, but no, thanks. We're so like protective of what we built because we built it out of absolutely nothing. I mean, we opened that restaurant, we opened the trailer. If the first check had cleared on the first day, we would have had 12 cents in the bank.
Yeah.
Like, we had absolutely nothing. We built our restaurant for $12,000.
That's incredible.
We started off with so little, it's just like, well, just keep what we've got and be careful with it.
Yeah.
But also, we just don't ever want to feel like a sellout.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I got a Vegas restaurant. I got this. We're doing this.
Oh, it's so horrible. I hate it.
If it's not something that we feel good about and, can feel proud of, we're just not interested.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you're operating with a bit of integrity and a bit of a constitution, I think.
We have a good North Star.
Yeah. You've expanded the food game with Hot Luck. What was the inspiration behind Hot Luck and the goal of it?
The goal was to really celebrate Austin and amazing food and amazing people and just kind of craft. There's all these food festivals that have existed all over the place, and they've always had kind of like a real cookie cutter pattern. It's like you got all your white tents, you got these, you got like, this, they're kind of like, maybe a lot of them are more PR driven in a lot of ways. And that's fine, but I felt like Austin should have one that's a little just more loose and just kind of fun. And, that is, again, me getting to be creative. That's not just, time to make the donuts, like every day. But that kind of allowed me to be able to build things for chefs that I would invite. I would let them design things to cook on.
Enjoying making something that's good, not, like you said, not just for PR or something.
Oh, yeah, not just calling it in. No one's allowed to call it in for Hot Luck. It's like, you're coming here to cook. And I think, a neat thing about Hot Luck is why the standards are so high is because I am actually inviting everyone. Like, and if it's somebody I don't know, I'll go to their restaurant and I'll just sit at the bar and I'll order dinner, and it's kind of become like a really cool thing. Or like, you look at the pass and, all the line cooks are like looking out. And there's like, is he going to ask us? Is he going to ask us? And they're like, hey, that was really good. You guys want to do Hot Luck? Yeah. It's really special.
Yeah, it's obviously a great success, and it seems like a really, really fun time.
It was a darn good time.
What's your current like food obsession? Like, do you like? I'm a musician. I go through these big waves, right? Like, you'll be like, I just can't get enough of this genre, or I can't get enough of this guy. Like, what's the thing you're not getting enough of right now that you just love? Like, what's a new discovery and a new obsession for culinary?
I'm not getting enough vegetables.
I think that's the theme, right?
Sadly, I just don't get to cook that much.
For joy.
For anything.
Okay.
We're just so darn busy, replacing walk-in coolers and fixing toilet parts and building event spaces and doing stuff. I don't get to cook nearly as much as I would like to. Really, I mean, I've probably cooked twice in the last 6 months.
Oh, goodness.
It's pretty bad. I'm actually a better cook not cooking every day than I was when I did it every day.
Yeah.
But I think, when you have time for your brain to kind of play catch up a little bit, it's like, okay, I've got some ideas. I want to try this. And you just kind of start to get the bigger picture figured out a little bit better. So then when you finally do go back to cooking or playing drums or going on tour or whatever, coming up with a song, you're like, oh man, I'm like kind of recharged. I got this.
What's on the horizon for you? Like, I feel like you are a very busy body. Like, is there something that you have planned that nobody knows about that you could hint at right now? Or are you just sort of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of putting together a show. So back in the day, I had the PBS show, not just the videos, but an actual like show.
Yeah, I remember.
That aired, like BBQ with Franklin.
Yep.
So we're working on a thing that's called Everything with Franklin. That's more of an international travel show, exploring
A little
craft.
Bourdain thing going on there?
It explores more like craft, like just
What you've been talking on, like
absolutely
like
the things that I'm really interested in. Like I'm gonna go. Learn how to build boats, like
Hell,
I'm gonna,
this is
like,
exciting. That's
all,
cool.
all kinds of stuff. Like, and, of course there's a food element to it for sure. But yeah, just kind of, bouncing around, meeting neat people and learning how to do things. And also inspiring people to be like, oh, wow, blowing neon, that sounds cool. I want to figure out how to do that. Ooh, stained glass, neat.
Hell yeah.
Well,
that sounds like
it's a very PBS-y show.
that sounds really exciting. I'm really excited to watch. I mean, it's something that I'll be very interested
So
in.
we're working on that. That's the exciting thing. And then a few other like restaurant-y things.
Cool. Favorite old school Austin restaurant, favorite new school. Just any genre, don't matter.
Okay. Estee is my favorite new school.
Yeah, I love it there.
Love those guys. My favorite old school that I very much miss is El Azteca.
Okay. Giddy up. As of now, with all your years in barbecue, are you headed out for Mexican or out for barbecue? Mexican?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Cool. And
Yeah, the old guy needs a margarita.
Mex or Tex-Mex?
Both.
Good.
I celebrate all the Mexes.
And are you getting a pub burger or are you getting a diner burger, thin or fat?
There is no good answer.
It also depends on like the composition.
Well, it depends on the bread. It depends
That's
on
what I mean.
the
Just
patty.
all the
How
shit.
is it cooked? I mean, is it like brushed in clarified butter or is it like smashed? Is it grass-fed? Is it not grass-fed?
So how about this? What burger do you make for yourself at home?
I don't.
Okay, good.
But I eat them at Uptown way too often.
I almost got the burger yesterday.
And I almost always get a smashy.
Okay, I love a smash. That craze.
Because we grind that stuff fresh every day at Franklin. Like, it's all fresh ground brisket.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I love a smashy. I love a tavern burger, too.
Me too.
I like them all.
Whiskey or tequila?
Whiskey. I'm a rye guy.
All right, me too.
Oh, I do have a rye project forthcoming, which
There we go.
I cannot really talk about yet either, but it's...
You heard it here first, folks.
I celebrate the dark spirits.
I love rye, so I'm.
What's your go-to?
I'm not a connoisseur of it, but I'll pretty much drink anything. I'm kind of drunk, so I don't really care. And do you have a favorite dive bar or cocktail lounge?
I do. My favorite bar is Small V, for sure. Other ones in the mix would be Drinkwell over on North Loop.
Okay, I like that spot
That's
too.
an excellent bar.
Yeah.
And
So you're not
an EQ room.
You're not like a dive bar guy.
No. I spend plenty of time in dive bars, but usually playing music.
Okay, cheers to that. Aaron Franklin,
Cheers.
thank you so much for joining us in the booth.
Absolutely.